Y'all remember I Love McCon? That was the guy who did the song with Drake back in the day. Got the club going up on a Tuesday. That guy. He just did an interview, and it turns out that he is now working a 9 to 5. Now, there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. I work a 9 to 5. You probably work a 9 to 5. But it still is always interesting whenever an artist goes from hundreds of millions of views to a 9 to 5 job. So I kind of wanted to figure out why. And I was diving into his interview, and it turns out that dude actually got signed by Drake to join OVO. That whole hit song, he was on the ups. Now, before all of that, before he got signed to OVO, before he had that hit song Tuesday, he was putting out music. He was a SoundCloud, MySpace rapper, putting out music, and he actually had a lot of encounters with rappers that we know today. So he was in music circles. That was just his big break. Well, later on, tweets resurfaced, and it's so awkward because after he was signed in to Drake and super cool with OVO and Drake's crew, after all of that, after the big song Tuesday, after all of that, tweets resurfaced of him, and he did not seem like a big fan of Drake at all. In fact, he didn't like Drake. Lots and lots of tweets of him going at and dissing Drake and saying how Drake is nothing and he's not that good and he doesn't know what all the hype is about. Drake is trash. Once those tweets started to recycle, Drake started to distance himself from him. Career tanked. He didn't have much to hold on to after that. He said that he felt like he was just an observer back then and he was just putting out stuff, and he thought of all people who know what that's like, it would be Drake, which I don't know why he said that. I think what he was trying to say is I never thought that I was going to actually have to be in a position where I was cool with you. So I was just putting out my opinion. I mean, that's just the genuine take on it. That was your opinion at the time, but there was an opportunity to work with Drake. And what person who's trying to come up in the music industry is not going to take that opportunity? Like, let's be for real. But his reaction and the way that he's putting it out, it sounds disingenuous. He's trying to say that he never really felt like that. He was just talking just to talk, and he didn't see it that as a big deal. I mean, honestly, and I'm just, keeping it a buck. I do understand that because we all do that. We talk so much about these rappers and stars, and we give negative opinions on them and everything. But to try and say that you never felt that way is disingenuous rather than, he was better off. It's a weird situation overall, but he was better off being honest and truthful and taking accountability for that, and then giving like a new perspective to Drake. But their relationship soured, turned downhill, his career turned downhill. I don't blame Drake for not wanting to work with him after those tweets resurface, especially after he comes and that's the kind of, apology or his opinion that he puts out about it. I don't even think that's a real apology. It's not a real apology. It's not taking no accountability, nothing like that. So, you know, it sucks that the door closed on you after that, but in reality, it's not on somebody that you have put so much negativity out about to make doors open for you anyway. But he says in the interview how every time that he's putting out music, he's being ignored unless it's about drama. So once people found out that he was working a 9 to 5, that's when people wanted to interview him. Once people found out that he was hanging out with NBA YoungBoy, that's when people started wanting to interview him. Once I think he came out as gay, once he came out as gay, people started wanting to interview him. So it was always about personal drama in his life that people wanted to interview him about, never about his music. I have not heard many songs by him. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even know that he was the creator of Tuesday. I thought that that was Drake who made the song, and it was just kind of like a random pop star who sung the vocals on that song. So, I can't say whether his music is good or bad, but he's struggling to make it in the industry. And he said that he's retired from making music, but he still puts out his own independent project. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think that, to be honest, it was petty of Drake to withdraw his support from him even after finding out those tweets? Like, come on, be so for real. He wasn't famous back then. He never thought that he would have to meet you. We've all got online and talked mess about people that we don't know just because we're giving our opinion online. Like, we know how that goes. Or do you think if I was in that position and I was Drake, I would still feel some kind of way and slighted that I literally just signed you and now I'm finding out that you had terrible opinions about me? It feels like you're using me. Let me know what you guys think.